Hello there, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Today I will be doing the weekly reading for July 27th to August 2nd. I have to use this format mainly because there is just massive time constraints from my end, and it is, the uh, summer season is ending, so I have finals. So I apologize for doing this to you guys 2 weeks in a row, but I do have severe time constraints, and on top of that, I'm trying to whip out those August readings. So forgive me for having to do this one more time. Okay, so let's just start out July 27th to August 2nd, and there will be timestamps as well on the bottom. I am going to be diligent about that this time. So thank you so much for those of you who've helped me in the past. I really sincerely appreciate it. Okay, so let's start out with Aries. So we're going from Aries ending with Pisces. All right, so for this week, Aries, there's a lot of I do feel there's a lot of recreational activities coming through for you, art, music, leisure activities, and things like that. And it is going to help, basically as a distraction to other things that you have going on in your life, especially when it comes to trouble communicating with people or just waiting around for a financial situation to come through. So I do feel that's going to be a good avenue for you to diffuse your energy, your restless energy, okay? Art, music, dance, and things like that. And I do feel a lot of activities like festivities with friends and with co-workers as well, like meeting co-workers for happy hours and things like that. That would really help you de-stress, okay? So I do see that coming through for you. For a lot of you, there are a little bit of financial concerns coming through, and I do feel it's like funding for projects and things like that, or even hearing back from investors and you're waiting around for it. A lot of you have a very entrepreneurial spirit about you, so I do feel that it's more funding for projects that you've already laid out, and I do sense that a lot of you are very, very impatient, which is understandable, but I do feel that, rest assured, the money's coming through. If you are dealing with a water sign, and I do feel this is going to be like a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, there's a sense of evasiveness about this person, and honestly, this person might talk a little bit big, but when it comes to like concrete actions, they're very hesitant about displaying affection, about being clear about where they stand with you or where you stand with them and things like that. So just be very, very patient. I do see that a lot of you are slowly turning your back on this person, and you're kind of looking elsewhere. I do sense that you're also, if there has been anger or if there has been like a falling out, frustration, not so much anger, but like frustration. I do feel that this issue needs to be addressed, mainly because, you're different elements and you're going to communicate very differently. So give the other person the benefit of the doubt, but I do sense that you're turning away rather than engaging in conflict, okay? If there's anything that bothers you for this week, it is really important that you give those grievances a voice, so that you're not bottling everything inside. That would be more healthful for you. So once again, the outlet here is, go home, listen to really, really loud music in your apartment, and I do feel that is going to help you distress, or go out with a social circle that whom you trust, and go out and just have a good time. So that's going to be more than anything. It's a week of waiting in suspension, which is not, your forte, because you are the first sign of the zodiac, and you're like, you rule the head. So it's really important for you to know immediately, what's going to happen. So you have a very impatient energy about you. So try to calm that down, okay? For those of you who are potentially involved with an earth sign, I do feel that this earth sign is a little bit distant, and you're kind of not sure about whether or not you want to invest in them. They'll come back. I do feel that they will come back. They will come back in their own time. Right now, they have a project that they're actually occupied with. They're not occupied with another person. It's mainly a project. They're trying to get something off the ground in order to have something concrete to offer you, okay? So keep that in mind and be very, very patient for this week, Aries, and give people some space as well. I do feel that you yourself are in need of space, and you know, when you need space, you can just go out and live your life, and you come back a more refreshed, a more energized person. So give a lot of space in your relationships and in your social interactions, all right? Because people have actually a lot of things that they're bogged down with at this present moment, okay? All right, so next sign is Taurus. So Taurus, this is a very, very good week. It's all love oriented. I have the Two of Cups and the Lovers. So one of the ways in which this can play out is I do feel a lot of you have recently broken up with a significant other. A lot of you might have like a falling out, you know, where there has been, you know, just shouting and door slamming. And I do feel that it takes a lot in order to it takes a lot to make you upset, but for some reason you were very, very quite upset in the past, especially with a lover. So I do feel that moving forward, in your recent past, you were very upset. Moving forward, you're trying to decide whether or not to stay in this relationship. And at the same time, for those of you who are single and looking, there is romance is definitely, definitely in the cards for you for this week. You're going to encounter two types of people though. The first one is the type that really ignites your passion. There's great chemistry, there's great attraction. The second, but I do feel that it is lacking in emotional depth, okay? There is the second type in which you are finding somebody that you can feel really comfortable around, who understands what you've been through, who also had a similar, you know, history, a similar experience with you. So you have to decide what it is that you want to look for. Do you want just the attraction without the commitment, or do you want something a little bit more stable? I feel that due to the past falling out, a lot of you are going to choose the first option, which there is great chemistry without you know, enough emotional fulfillment. So if that's something that you're looking for this week, just keep in mind that it's not going to be long term, nor is it going to fulfill you emotionally in the long run, okay? So keep that in mind. Be very realistic this time around. A lot of you are overcoming the emotional turmoil from the past as a result of possibly a messy breakup with an ex. A lot of you are coming out of your funk, you're starting to date again, and you're starting to feel really good about yourself. So I do see a revival in your passion, also a coming out of you know, recovery of your self-esteem as well. So it's a really, really good week for you to attract who and what it is that you truly want. I do feel a decision here, definitely a decision. We have the Two of Swords as well, which indicates to me, once again, it's going to be a decision between potentially two people. A lot of you might be trying to bring a friendship, a long-time friendship, and trying to escalate that into the next level, or trying to, you know, bring it to that next level in which you can casually cross that boundary between the friend zone and the relationship zone. So it's a big step, and I do feel a lot of you have made the decision that this is the right thing to do, okay? So overly very romantic week for you, so I wish you the best. Okay, so Geminis. Geminis, I do feel that there are some troubles on the home front, okay? And this can be like just people in your home situation, or people in your immediate family, even though you might not live with them. Or if you are living with like roommates and things like that, there is troubles within the home in terms of people bumping into each other, rubbing elbows the wrong way. And it's just like I do sense a sense of like tiptoeing around one another rather than addressing and getting to the heart of the problem, okay? There is a situation from your past that hasn't been adequately dealt with. It's basically swept under the rug. And for this week, it's really important to give this a voice. Just get it out in the open and try to resolve this issue. For a lot of you, it might be finances. If you're in need of like, if you're living with roommates, for example, and they're late on the rent, if you're like sheltering like other people, or you know, family members, and they're kind of like reneging on their promises to pay rent, something like that, this issue definitely needs to be addressed, because I do feel that the other people might be forgetful. They don't mean to, but they feel that they if it's like not a family member, they might try to take advantage of you. It's a family member, I do feel that they're kind of like carefree, and they will freeload when they can. So they're taking advantage of the situation a little bit, but at the same time I feel like money might be lacking on their end, okay? But as long as you bring it out into the open, you will get an honest response from them, okay? So take care of these things around the house. I do sense as well a few expenditures are going to go towards fixing things around the house, like burst I don't well, let's see, burst water pipe, electrical problems. It's minor expenditures, but I do feel quite a few of them adding up, and it's a little bit, can be a little bit draining, but it's not to a great extent. For those of you who are dealing with an earth sign for this week, I do feel that you're going to be caught up with a bunch of little things, and the earth sign that you're dealing with feels that you're neglecting them, okay? You just have a lot going on in your life right now, and you're trying to make your living environment as comfortable as you can. So just call the earth sign, like the Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, and let them know where you stand with them, okay? I do feel this person is still interested in you, if you're wondering. I do feel there's great interest from the earth sign. So try your best to maintain this situation. And I do feel that, by the end of the weekend, go out with your significant other or spend some time with this earth sign. It's going to help rejuvenate you and help you forget the troubles that happened during the week. Okay, so overall, pretty romantic week as well. You have a lot of support, but it's only going to come into the picture for you if you ask for it, okay? So I do see a lot of friendship, a lot of emotional support coming through for you. All right, Cancers. All right, Cancers. So a lot of you have recently moved into a new situation, okay? And I do feel that it's overall a very, very positive move for you. I do feel like it could be a physical location, it could be moving past from relationships. For a lot of you, it's going to be relationships in which it's a relationship that has kind of like been dragged on for a little bit too long, in which both parties have lost passion for one another. So now they're calling it quits for good. So in the past, recent past, I feel like you might have walked away. Both parties have walked away. But for this week, the final, I guess you can say that the final blow is coming through, in which not only are you physically, walking away, but you are emotionally, mentally, pretty much left it behind for good, okay? So even if you were to like break up with somebody or move away from a situation since like March, moving forward, you're going to feel as if, it still tugs at you like throughout April, May, June, and things like that. But for this week, I do feel like it's a severing of the ties altogether. You can think back and you can, say the other person's name, but it's not going to tug at your heartstrings so much. So you are pretty much at the far, you're over it. You're over it. You're pretty much like you've moved on with your life, and you're going to move to better, bigger things. I do feel that whoever it is that you left behind, they themselves are recovering as well. I do sense that when that relationship ended, I do feel they were quite hurt, okay? For some reason, it seems to me like they were a lot more hurt than you were, and it was something that came out of the blue for them. And because of it, it took them a really long time to rebuild. So I do feel that while you're over it, the other person still feels passion for you. So that's just something to be careful about, because, if you are thinking in the future of returning and possibly, not wanting to have a relationship with them, but possibly wanting to check to see if they're okay, I would say, try not to do it, because you're going to give them false hope. So, just keep that in mind and be respectful of your ex or whoever it is in your past trying to heal up, okay? Because I feel like they were a lot more devastated than you were, and they're still struggling, and they're going to struggle for another month before they can rebuild themselves, and they're going to be okay. And I do feel that it's a clean break, and I do sense that whatever happened, it seemed to me to be very fated, very karmic, because I have the Six of Swords, which indicates to me you're moving forward, but you're carrying the lessons with you so that you can be a better relationship partner in the future. So overall, it looks very positive for you in the spirit of growth. I do feel you are on the right track. And what's moving forward, what's in the picture for you later on is that a lot of new possibilities are opening up, especially when it comes to dating and things like that. And at this point, I do feel that in the past, you might have been in a relationship where you were looking at, physical attraction. For everybody, it's understandable that we want to date somebody that we're attracted to. But in the past, I do feel that you've realized that there was too much emphasis placed on the physical aspect of the relationship. So moving forward, you're going to find relationships that are a lot more emotionally fulfilling, that are a lot more like conducive for longevity and things like that. And as a result, I do sense you are going to be more mindful about the people that you get involved with. So overall, it looks very, very promising for you, regardless of what you decide to do. The opportunities coming through are abundant, so I don't feel that you're going to go wrong no matter what you decide to do. Okay, so Leos. Okay, so this is actually quite a good week for you. I do sense that a lot of you are in a recovery mode when it comes to love and relationships, okay? And I do have the Nine of Wands here, and for this card, for this deck, is the Joie de Vivre deck. For this deck, whenever I see the Nine of Wands, I do feel that you are breaking out of your shell and you're taking initiative when it comes to love, and you're heading in the right direction. Your heart chakra is open. You've been like through a lot. You've been scarred emotionally, physically, metaphorically. You've been very, very scarred from your past, and you were wondering, when will I ever find love again? When will I ever find somebody who understands me, who gets me, and who will not play with my heart? And I do sense for this week something is coming through, but you are still very, very cautious, okay? There is an offer here, and I do feel that it's coming from your external environment. Somebody is making you an offer, and you're looking at it and trying to assess whether or not you want to go ahead with it. You feel that it has a lot of potential, but you're not completely like emotionally healed yet. You're not emotionally over the past situation. So you're still looking at this skeptically, first of all. At the same time, I do feel that your heart chakra is open, so you are going to be receptive to this new energy that is coming through in your life. For those of you who are dealing with like a water sign for some reason, a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio, I do sense this person is very like smitten by you, and they are trying to make an offer to you for friendship and for relationship too, and even for dating. So this is something, it's in the beginning stages, so it's just like peeking out of the water. It's not full blown yet, so take it very, very slow. And I do sense that this person is probably on the same page as you, where they've been through a lot in the past and they're just trying to find the right people. So if that's the situation, both parties need to take it extra, extra slow, all right? The only danger is, I do have the card here of social dating and social interactions, and it's in the reverse position. So what's coming through for you is, instead of having 4 options, you have 1, and you should go with it. And I do feel it is going to be fruitful. At the same time, one of the dangers about this is I have the Ace of Cups in the reverse position. However, it's surrounded by good cards, which indicates to me that it needs to be taken very, very slow. And on the dating front, things need to be approached in a very systematic manner, okay? So basically, you have your heart to give. You are kind of like your hearts are in your hands, and you're trying to make an offer, but you're very commitment shy at this present moment, so there's nothing wrong with that. So just keep it hidden for now, I do feel that you want other people to step up and prove with their actions that they're worth it before you invest, because based on your past, things haven't been very successful in the love department, and especially in friendships too. You are very, very loyal, and other people kind of take you for granted, and especially if you're dating somebody who is younger, if they're significantly younger, they might be in it for just fun and, just for the excitement and just for like a distraction rather than anything serious. So take things extra, extra slow if you're dating new people for this month, or for this week, excuse me. All right, so Virgos. I do feel that conflict on the home front is brewing up again for a lot of you. It's interesting. So I've been seeing this for a few weeks now. So I do feel that a lot of you have recently moved homes and you're trying to renovate your homes. You're trying to paint. You're trying to get contractors in order to fix things up around the home. The home looks very, very beautiful. And I do feel that, if it's serving its purpose for now, if it's not some place that you want to stay permanently, try not to invest in it too much, because it can be a little bit of a financial drain for you, okay? And it might preoccupy your time. So just keep that in mind. For a lot of you too, I do feel that the the arguments and things like that will end for good once you move out of that home into another home. So either way, a new dwelling, a new sense of achievement is coming through. There is going to be a big celebration for this month, for this week, and it can be a housewarming party. It can just be a major celebration, and I do feel that your presence there is going to be appreciated, but at the same time, it's going to clear your peace of mind. Okay, there is a big celebratory energy coming through regarding other people's success, regarding your own success. So try to attend that function when you can, and I do feel it is going to be very beneficial for you as well in order to network. Finances, there is a slight concern when it comes to finances, so it is really important to get that in order first and only buy the essentials. I mean, I feel silly saying this to a Virgo to be careful with expenditures and buy only the essentials, because I feel like you already do that. But for this week, just know that, for example, if someone is inviting you out and this person means a lot to you and it's like a big celebration, something that is really important to them, even though you don't have the money, just show up. Your presence is going to be more than enough, okay? So keep that in mind. I do feel as well, a lot of you are trying to get projects off the ground, or trying to finalize a deal or something like that. And you have a lot of people that you have to hit up, basically, to get funding, to see, and to you're basically on the spotlight. It seems to me like attending a wedding and having to make a toast, and you have to think off the top of your head what you have to say. So it's just be prepared for those things, okay? Keep yourself, be vigilant. Keep yourself on the ready with a very intelligent, sly remark, and you're going to be well received. Aside from that, I do feel from the love front, a lot of you are dealing with an air sign. I have the Knight of Swords coming in, and surrounded by the Four of Swords. And when I'm using a different deck, the Joie de Vivre deck. So when it comes to this deck, the Four of Swords is taking a moment back and to introspect, to reflect on the past. And it's interesting because you have, at this point, a lot of you might have left previous relationships and are now socially dating. Or a lot of you are at a point where you're just like, what is it that I really want out of a relationship? I'm so ready to date. I'm so ready to have another person in my life. So you're kind of like holding your hearts in your hands. And you're thinking and you're conjuring up that perfect ideal situation, or the perfect man or the perfect woman that is coming in to appease you. And because you're doing that, you're kind of like you're closing your eyes, and you're so deep in contemplation that this Knight of Swords coming in, this air sign, is like right around you. And he moves pretty fast. He's in and out. So it's like in the process of like praying, in the process of manifestation, and in the process of conjuring up that ideal person. That ideal person was like right there in front of your eyes, but you missed out on the opportunity because your eyes were closed and you were so deep in your own thoughts. So I do feel this situation is it's a danger that can potentially happen. Okay. For those of you who are dealing with an air sign, I do feel this person is circulating back and forth in your midst, and whatever prison that you're in. So if you're stuck in a dead-end relationship, if you're stuck in a funk, if you feel very stuck in any aspect of your life, this air sign is kind of like the knight in shining armor. So the air sign is a Libra, a Gemini, and Aquarius. This air sign is actually like your knight in shining armor. Granted, he's really not in armor in this spread. He's wearing his PJs actually. So this is somebody that you least expect to be your knight in shining armor coming in to rescue you, because the Four of Swords does indicate a very stuck energy. And the Knight of Swords is somebody who moves in very swiftly. He's courageous. And he is going to sever the ties that bind you to the past, okay? So keep an eye out for an air sign for this week. I do feel that he's going to be like, he's not somebody that you would imagine, but he does have a lot of energy about him that is going to like unstuck you from the webs that you feel yourself very bound to, and they're going to lift you out of your funk. So keep an eye out and keep your mind open. You can, you know, conjure up the right person. That's always a nice thing to do with your heart, but keep your mind open. And I do feel for a lot of you, keep an eye out for butterflies, moths, and sunflower, okay? Like Jabera daisies, butterfly, moths, sunflowers. Keep an eye out. That might be a sign that's coming in quite strongly. So have a good week, Virgos. Keep your eyes open. All right, so I have Libras next. Okay, so Libras, for this week, you are showing up here as the Queen of Swords in the upright position, which is very, very good. And that's something that the card indicates to me. It's like knowing better and severing the past, severing ties with the past, and forging a brand new path for yourself. This is going to be essential for you to move forward in your life, in all avenues of your life. If there has been conflict with coworkers in the past, if there has been like a very strenuous type of work situation in which you feel like you're not getting anywhere, in which you feel like you know, you're getting paid, you would be getting paid more in another work location, in another area, or in another field altogether. So you're thinking about a career change. For a lot of you, the time to do it is definitely this week, because there are going to be news coming through that will allow you to move forward in a more positive light, okay? So for those of you who have been like working tirelessly and trying to build a better financial foundation for yourself, I do feel that this is the week in which it's like a sudden, it's like a bolt of lightning type of energy that's coming through, and you're just like, I've had it, I'm done. So you're actually going to move forward. There is a very, very strong transition happening for this week for a lot of you. There are going to be like severance, like I'm getting severance, severing old ties, severing old situations, severing old work situations, relationships as well, mainly because they were troublesome. There was a lot of conflict. There was a lot of like one-sidedness, imbalances that that have like basically, that can't be swept under the rug anymore. You can't ignore it anymore. So you're moving forward, and the right thing to do basically is just scrap everything that hasn't worked for you, move forward, and try to I'm going to pull out one more card just to see what you are looking at, because I'm getting that you are coming in towards the end and you're like extending your hand and you're looking towards the future. So let's see what the future holds here. Okay, interesting. All right, so we have the King of Swords coming through. So that's what you're extending your hands out to, and that's what's in your future. So I do feel for a lot of you, if you are involved with in a court situation, especially a legal matter, things will end in your favor, so you don't have to be afraid. Okay, the past, I feel like the message here is that the worst of it is over, even though it was painful, even though it was sad, even though it was unexpected. You're putting on a very, very stern face because you're just like thinking to yourself, I knew it was going to happen, but I did everything that I can within my power to make that situation work. It doesn't work anymore, so I need to move on with my life, and I'm going to be cutthroat about it. So you're actually in a very rational, logical mindset, okay? If you are dealing with an air sign, I do feel that you have a very positive energy coming through for you. If you're in the dating front, especially, this is somebody that is, he or she has the qualities of an air sign, but they have a warmth to them, like animals flock to them. They actually have a very good heart, and there's a playful energy, almost like a very soft, a very unassuming energy to this new person coming through for you. So either way, if it's on the relationship front, it's looking very, very good for you. So a lot of you might have just left old untenable situations in the past that was riddled in conflict, that was riddled in like the other party not doing what you asked, and over again they keep trying to like instead of doing right by you, they wait for the moment where you're mad to buy you flowers, to buy you nice things. And it's just like they're covering up the problems in the relationship by throwing things and money at it. So that's something that you're leaving behind for good, and you're going into a better situation for yourself with somebody who takes the time to really talk to you and address issues as they come up, rather than, um, sweeping everything under the rug. And hopefully, like, you're not going to put up with passive aggressive energies from other people, or from yourself, from other people anymore. So it's a very nice energy for you, Libras. Okay, so next up is Scorpios. All right, so Scorpios, there is going to be like a contract that is being signed. I do feel that there are a little bit of complications coming through. Okay, so be a little bit careful and be patient as at the same time, and wait it out. And I do feel this is regarding something about child rearing, motherhood. It could be like concerning your own mother, or it could be a mother that you're dealing with. If you yourself are a mother, it somehow concerns young people and parenting. So this is a contract that is going to be negotiated, is going to be signed, and I do feel there are delays associated with it. It's also the period of Venus in retrograde. So if you're hearing things like this, news from the past, you're going to be like you're going to be very, very slow about this, because this is not somebody that you want to deal with. So you're not going to act hastily, but at the same time, it's like you're purposely drawing it out just to annoy them, is what I'm sensing here. There's nothing wrong with that. I do feel that if it's like a person from your past, but I do feel there might be an element of a child associated with this that's coming through in the picture. So if it's something, excuse me, if it's something that the child needs, don't hold that over their head. Okay, make sure that the child is taken care of. There's a very strong element of motherhood, child rearing, parenting associated with the cards for you, and the legal issue is not entirely to your liking, so you're like holding it off. But I do feel that if there is a child involved, be the bigger person and try to take care of it in a timely manner, okay? Children are innocent in this, so if it's a dispute between you and a significant other over children, just keep it between the two of you and don't get the child involved. I do feel a lump sum of money is going to be poured out from your end this week, as well as there is some sort of a message demanding like money, payment, money, and things like that, things that are owed to other people. And even though there are people that feel like they're entitled to it, I do sense that you don't really have a choice here. So it's like you're being summoned to make payments to people, and then people feel that they can come to you and ask for money. So it's a little bit problematic, and you're trying to juggle who it is that you're trying to hire, who it is that you're trying to give the payments to. And I do feel as well the news that you're getting for this week is going to be like a little bit emotionally rattling and upsetting. So you're taking your sweet time, which is fine. That's totally understandable. For those of you who are involved with like a fire sign. For those of you involved with a fire sign, I do feel that this fire sign is going to be very, very supportive, and they're coming through and they're asking, they're helping you with it. So I do feel if you need help, try your best to ask this person for help because they have a lot of experience and expertise in order to help you through this issue. For those of you who are dealing with a Libra, especially, just a Libra, I don't feel other air sign elements, but just a Libra, I do sense that it's going to be very difficult to get your points across, and I do sense there's this element of wanting to travel, possibly getting news from this Libra. I do feel like a long distance element associated with it because there's a lot of water and land cards and globe cards, which indicates to me that there's a long distance type of element, long distance communication, in which the other person is there to wait on you. They're waiting for you. So regardless of who it is that you're involved with, I do feel like long distance communication coming through, and then you're going to have to respond as to what you want to do with this person, if your heart is even in it anymore. Honestly, financial situation is like trumping everything else, so I'm not getting too much of a love reading for this, but I do feel the people around you are very, very supportive of you, no matter what you decide to do. Okay, so Sagittarius. Okay, so Sagittarius, the first energy that I am getting here for you is that there is an expansion. There is a sense of expansion. Um, I do feel that it's happening beyond your control, though. And what I mean by that is you might be forced to go somewhere. You might be forced to, like, possibly do something for this week. And I do feel it is a long, long process, okay? So you're kind of like coaxed out of your lair, and you're going somewhere, you're doing something with another person, and the other person is doing all the planning, and kind of, it's not that they left you in the dark, it's just you didn't ask what it entailed. So now you might be like pushed out of your comfort zone without meaning to be. So I hope that makes sense. So what I'm getting here is expansion. It could be travel, it could be just going somewhere, it could just be like breaking you out of your comfort zone, and you're not feeling very comfortable about it. So it's sort of like you wish you could have gone back and said no, and you wish you could have like asked them for more of an itinerary so that you can better prepare yourself. So if this hasn't happened yet, I do feel for this week it's going to happen for a lot of you. So make sure you get all the information you need up front so that you're not rattled and you're not like regretting it. I don't feel there's any element of regret because more than anything, it's a mental energy in that it's making you feel quite unsettled, and you don't really know what to do. You don't really know what to do. So ask important questions up front. And I do feel, with the Empress in the reverse position, it's kind of like losing your ground. Somebody else is planning this entire thing for you, so you don't really have much of a say. It's not like they're authoritarian or anything like that, because I don't get the Emperor in the reverse position. It's just they go about their life with very concise planning, and they don't really ask for other people's inputs. And it's not even that you wanted to give them inputs. It's just now at the very last stages when it's actually being implemented, you're just like caught up in the tail end of it, and you're just like, wait a minute, I didn't realize it was going to be like this. But not in a bad way. I don't feel that you're going to be, stranded or stuck or abandoned or anything like that. But I do feel that for future reference, Asking people about their intentions and things like that is going to be in order for you. A lot of you are dealing with an earth sign. A lot of you are dealing with an earth sign. I have the Knight of Coins here, and an earth sign is a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn. And I do feel that this situation is regarding that person, okay? And I mentioned last week, I believe, there is an earth sign making an offer to you. And a lot of you have thankfully taken my advice on that, because I've read a lot of the feedback and you mentioned that it was true. And you know, you did step out of your way, or go out of your way to meet this person halfway. Well, the earth sign is back, and I do sense here that there's an element, the earth sign is in the upright position, just as last week. And I do feel that for a lot of you, there is, I do feel there is great love, okay? This can be a family member, this can be a friend, this can be somebody that you're romantically involved with, or you once had a lot of emotional investment with, okay? So this person is waiting for you, and I do feel that more than anything, this is a very, very slow moving energy. So they need something from you. It's like they want, okay, so if you made them a promise, for example, they want concrete actions. They want proof, they want evidence before they're going to act, all right? So it seems to me like the earth sign is just waiting very, very patiently. And he or she as well has armor on. So they're waiting to engage in battle. So it's sort of like they're gauging what you're planning to do. They're gauging your next step to see how you're reacting and to see how they can react to you. So I hope this makes sense to you. For a lot of you, this might be a conflict area. This might be like somebody that you've had multiple run-ins with and you haven't been very, very happy, nor have you been very successful in getting this person to come around to your point of view. So the earth sign is like, you know, dressed up in armor, and they are ready to battle if needed, okay? So I do feel that you have to look at things from a different perspective, okay? Um, I have the Hangman here, and I do feel that it's next to your card as well. A lot of you need to look at this situation from a different perspective. And I do feel, you know, in general, in order to make this situation end well, in order to basically feel comfortable again in your own skin, in order to expand your own consciousness, in order to have a greater understanding of people, their motives, and just life in general. A lot of you are very, very stubborn, so you have to break out of your framework and look at things from a different point of view. Okay, the Hangman is very much, you know, somebody who is reversed, like upside down, inverted. So whatever conditioning, whatever mental space that you've been on, whatever mindset that you pretty much, you know, solidified in your head, it is really important for you to look at things from a different perspective in order for you to have a more carefree, a more abundant, and a more like and a happier lifestyle. I do feel that's going to be in the works for you. A lot of you are like holding on to things very, very tightly, and you're not willing to let go. And there are situations um, in which it's like not holding on to people. It's mainly holding on to a way of thinking that might be outdated, that might be like not serving you anymore, but you've clung on to it because it was something that brought you security. It was something that, you know, that was like childhood conditioning that you're so like mired in it, you don't see another way to think, you don't see another way to act, okay? So once again, I do feel a very good energy about this earth sign, and I would advise you to like re-engage and try to figure out what went wrong, but approach this in a more sincere, open, receptive manner, because the earth sign has armor on, and they're ready to fight if need be, okay? They're ready to fight, they're ready to defend their domain. So it's not about pretenses anymore. This is about serious discussion that needs to take place in order for the stalemate, in order for a truce to be reached, in order for you both to move on with your life. So once again, Sagittarius, I hate repeating messages, but I do feel that it's coming back in for you for a reason, okay? So don't be stubborn and try to get this resolved. It's 2 weeks already. So, all right. Capricorns. Okay, so Capricorns, I do feel two offers on the table for you. In the work situation, you're weighing the pros and cons, and I do feel intuitively you know what you need to do. You know that one option outweighs the other, but you're just like, well, it's money is money, so maybe I can do both jobs at the same time. So that's on the work front. Even though clearly one option is better than the other. So you're just going to probably take on both job opportunities and hope for the best, okay? Just don't drop the ball on this one because I do feel time is limited. A lot of you are heading, well, first of all, I do feel a lot of you are headed in the right direction and you're in a really comfortable, cushy place where you get to pick and choose what it is that you want. So obviously on the financial front, things are looking very good for you. But you might overextend yourself by trying to do both jobs at the same time, which is fine if it's I feel like if it's anybody else, I would be worried. But if it's you, I feel that you can handle it. It's just going to be a little bit more stressful than you'd hope, okay? But I do feel moving forward that you're going to go with both options, okay, on the work front. I do feel like projects potentially coming through, and then you're deciding that, I can do both, even though I like this one a lot more, and the other one sounds a little bit boring and tedious, but I'm going to do both just because I'm a team player. That's your mentality for this week, which is nice, actually. Just don't overextend yourself and make sure realistically that you have enough time to devote to them. On the love front, however, on the love front, things are looking very, very good because the options are less clear. You actually definitely have two options, but they're equally great. So on the work front, one option is clearly better than the other. On the love front, things are definitely like a little bit harder to distinguish between what's better and what's worse because you have an air sign, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, and you have a fire sign. So this is Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And I don't feel you're going to go with both. I don't feel that it's not like work where you can manage both because for a lot of you, you are looking at this very, very skeptically and you're kind of like, it's not really weighing your options, but you're thinking back and you're trying to think about this logically and you're trying to think to yourself, the you're trying to think of the practical side of it, which is one person seems to be like a long distance type of relationship. They're not in your immediate vicinity, whereas the other person is. So you feel that, it's just more practical to be with a person that's closer to you, even though there is great attraction. Both of them attract you. One person seems to be like very physically stunning. The other person is very intellectually stunning. So they're definitely very different from one another. And they both have qualities that you really, really admire and look for. So that's why the choice is definitely a lot harder because you have two very, very different people. And one of them fulfill you emotionally, well, physically. One of them is just very magnetic. There's great emotional attraction, and the other one is just witty, verbose, and just very, very, very funny, very intelligent. I do feel a lot of you are going to go with the fire sign. I do sense that. Mainly because the energy for the fire sign looks a little bit more vibrant, and you at this point in your life, you're thinking about, who's going to expand my mind, who's going to provide more, I guess, like more passion in my life. Okay, so the air sign is being left behind in favor of the fire sign, but I don't feel the decision is going to happen this week. I do feel it could happen like middle of August, but not for this week. So you're still mulling it over, and you're still taking some time, and to before you decide. Keep in mind that the fire sign comes and goes, but he or she is definitely waiting around. So I do feel that there is a lot more interest um, from the fire sign. The fire sign is actually very enthralled by you, and I do feel there's a lot of mutual interest. So I do feel a lot of you will go with the fire sign. The air sign is kind of like all over the place and quickly losing interest as well. So if you are thinking about the air sign, just go for it before they lose interest. They are like social butterflies, so they, you know, hopscotch from one person to the next. Just be careful. I don't feel it's a bad energy though. This person is sincere. They're both sincere. All right, so for Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius, first up on the work front, there are some, like, I would say uncertainties regarding a work situation, okay? And you know, obviously finances are linked up with work, and there are some things that are there are some delays regarding the start of a new work situation that you are kind of like catching wind of for this month. There's something in your work environment that is being stalled, and as a result, you don't know how to proceed, okay? So just be very, very careful of job offers made to you for this week if that's something that you're looking for. Make sure you have all the information. Make sure you ask important questions, okay? Because it can be problematic later on. I do feel as well there's some new insights that came through potentially a few days ago on the work front, and you're trying to keep it like hidden. And it can play out in a myriad of ways, but I do feel that it's um, it's adding to the tension at work, and as a result, you don't know what direction to take. You don't know what people's intentions are on the work situation, so it's proving to be a little bit problematic. In terms of love and relationships, I do feel, well, in the work front too, I do feel there is a person from your past coming back in, okay? And this person is making you an offer. And normally, under normal circumstances, you would have like you know, extended your arms and embraced them, is what I'm sensing under normal circumstances. However, within the past week, something new came to light. You have been privy to some hidden information, and now you're not going to act on it. You're going to act differently with this person. So things are just you know, new insights are always good. New insights about people, their true intentions, and things like that have always been helpful, and they come out in, you know, they come out at in times that we didn't expect, but they help us make better, well-informed decisions moving forward. So if there is new insights about somebody that you've held, you know, dear to your heart, or somebody who you really admire, somebody who you really, really care about, I do feel that this new insight is kind of like, it's a little bit damaging to their reputation in your eyes, okay? So you're not going to be totally receptive when they do make a comeback in your life and they try to extend an offer, mainly because you you don't really know how you should react. So I'm actually going to pull out more cards just to see how this situation is going to end and what's going on, essentially. So I do have the Magician in the reverse position, which indicates to me that you're not going to take the initiative in this situation. So why is that? Okay, so what I am getting here is, once again, there is somebody that is making you a proposition, that is making you a proposal. It can be on the work front. On the work front, you're still waiting. You're still waiting for them to give you that offer. If this offer comes in, and especially if it is on the work front, I do feel that it's sort of like yes or no, and that's pretty much it. You know, do you want to do it? If not, then we have to move on with somebody else. So that's a no-brainer. Most likely you are going to go with it if it's on the work front. However, on the romance relationship front, it's a little bit more complicated. So this person is very sincere. I do feel there is a great deal of emotional connection, a very strong emotional connection between the two of you. The other person is taking the initiative, and they're kind of like going to where you are and approaching you on the same like equal footing. So it's a very egalitarian type of relationship, and there's a great sense of reciprocity. However, right now you are the Page of Cups in the reverse position, so you don't really, it seems to me like a lot of you, your heart hasn't healed up yet. And you know, the Page of Cups to me always indicates somebody who is who's like, who loves in a very innocent way, who, you know, when they, who wears their hearts on their sleeves, and they say what they mean. So it's just like, you know, if they like you, they will give everything to you, everything they have. If they don't like you, they hold back, and or they won't interact with you at all. So it's very black and white with the Page of Cups. In the reverse position, it indicates to me like hesitation, a lot of hesitation from your end. Even though you're getting all these invitations, even though you're getting all these messages of love and affection, you don't truly believe it, mainly because you yourself are mired in a place of potentially low self-esteem, and you don't believe that the offers are real. I can assure you they're real, because the Six of Cups is a really good card. However, the Page of Cups is like very hesitant and reluctant to get involved into new romantic entanglements, because they themselves don't believe that they have what it takes to make other people fall in love with them. So this is an energy that you definitely needs to work through. And more than anything, you know, July 31st is the blue moon, and it's a very, very good time for letting go of these negative doubts, or of these negative feelings, and especially negative entanglements in the past that have made you like, that has crippled your self-esteem, that has made you feel like you can't have faith in people, you can't find people to love, and that you're not lovable. Okay, so all of those doubts, all of those fears should be released on the full moon. It's a blue moon as well, so it's doubly important for you. And it's also in the sign of Aquarius. So once again, take the time off on the 31st. It's actually happening at like 5 a.m. on the 30th or something like that in the US. Take the time either way on the 31st to sit somewhere and just meditate on what it is that you need in a new love relationship, on what it is that you've learned about yourself based on the previous relationships. And if you have had relationships that were really emotionally toxic, for example, in the past, that has really destroyed and crippled your self-esteem, that has made you feel very unworthy, where you poured all of your love, all of your affection, and you ended up like empty-handed, it's really important to let those relationships go, because you have new things coming in, you have new messages of love, you have like a lot of people vying for your attention actually. So just let the past go and do some manifestation, do some healing work with this full moon, okay? I brought this up, the color blue, and I feel that, like last week, and I feel that the color blue is more indicative of the blue moon, okay? So Aquarius, take some time off this month, especially this week, and you know, make good use of that blue moon. All right, so last sign here we have Pisces. Okay, so Pisces, your cards are all finance related. So I do feel that a lot of you might have some financial worries. A lot of you might be in a situation where it's kind of like it's really, really difficult for you to move forward. It's really difficult for you to implement any new changes in your life, or even start anything new in your life because of the financial situation. So you're really, really bogged down this week by financial worries, okay? I'm going to pull out a few more cards just because I don't like to, the cards are corroborating the same things, and I don't like to end on that note. So let's see what else we have here. Um, in your relationships, I do feel that in general, for romantic relationships, business work situations, not the financial aspect, but more the interpersonal aspect of it. I do feel that there is going to be a restoration of the give and take. If you've been given in the past, I do feel that a conflict happened last week where, where both parties are still trying to negotiate who does what and things like that. So this week, that new regime is being implemented in which, I do this and you do that, and we'll see how things work. So it's still like it's still in the works, and you're still trying to gauge and you're still trying to experiment to see if that's the best way to go. However, for your financial situation, let's just see. Okay, so the financial situation, I pulled out a card just to see like when it's going to alleviate. I do feel for a lot of you, get your finances in order first of all, but I do sense as well there is a it's like money is coming through, but it's disappearing as fast as it comes through, mainly because when it comes to spending, a lot of you might have like a very emotional way of spending. And what I mean is you buy things that make you feel good. You want instant gratification. So money is going out because of it, okay? Instead of buying things that you need, you buy novelty items, and as a result, you bring it home. You play with it for like 2 hours and then you get bored of it, and then it just sits there on your top shelf and collecting dust, okay? If this sounds familiar, then, just reining on that spending. But overall, I am getting that the financial situation is definitely going to get resolved, okay? If there has been like a partner, if there has been somebody in the past that basically left your life and they're the person that you always defer to when it comes to financial decisions, or they're the ones that have always been like able to help you, I do feel that they're going to come back this week to help you. There's going to be news regarding good news regarding finances. So you're going to be okay. So not to worry, don't distress. And if anything, I do sense that a lot of help will be coming through for you. Because, like I mentioned last week, Pisces is a sign of two fish, and you feel strength in number. There is going to be somebody coming through to help you, okay? Like a guardian angel coming through and alleviating your worries and your concerns. So Pisces, it's looking very good. And in the relationship front, I'm actually going to pull out another card. I do feel that on the relationship front, an air sign is making a comeback in your life. An air sign is Libra, Aquarius, Gemini. So this air sign is coming back through with some news. There's going to be, if he or she is not coming in physically, there are going to be news regarding this air sign, and you're going to decide what you want to do. And I do feel that if it's kind of like them egging you on for conflict and things like that, just let it go for good, okay? Spend some time, pamper yourself, and take care of yourself, Pisces. So I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I apologize once again for the format. I just, I will try to do the monthly readings. Like, I'm starting them now. I have 6 done already, so they're going to be posted. But for next month, I am planning to do like a monthly reading, and then using the Celtic Cross, I will do like a mid-month reading, mainly because of time constraints on my end. So I hope you are understanding, and in general, just have a wonderful, wonderful week. I will speak to you again soon.